everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Wait. So today I'm going to be reviewing Mixed Dish Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot episode. So this is the series premiere of Mixed Dish. This is a spinoff of Blackish. And so this series actually centers around the life of Bo, who is played by Tracy Ellis Ross on Blackish. And so this really goes into her childhood. She's always had this crazy childhood that they've kind of spoken about, but they've never really dived into it that often. And so I love how the episode opens up with the cast of Blackish. And so they're kind of having like a family movie night, and he was like, hey, turn on Breaking. And then it was like, what's Breaking? And he was like, you don't know what Breaking is? You know, your parents used to be like, you don't know what this movie is? And I'm like, but did you tell me what this movie was? Did you have me watch this movie when I was young? You get mad at me, but you didn't do your job to educate me on the classic. And Breaking is a classic. If you guys have not watched it, you're missing out. You should definitely probably want to give that a go. But I love how he called them heathens. That just tickled my little soul because my mom calls me a heathen all the time. She probably got it from my grandma who called me a heathen. And I was just like, who talks to their grandchildren like this? But even Bo mentions that she hasn't watched it. He was like, you had the weirdest childhood. Of course you didn't watch it. And so this is how we get introduced to this series. And so it opens up in 1985. Bo is 12 years old. Everything is going fine and dandy. They are living on this commune, living their best lives possible until it gets raided. The leaders, they got jail time. I was like, I don't know what you guys was doing to get this jail time, but it seemed like it was pretty serious. So the family actually has to end up moving into their dad's father's house, summer house. I was like, so y'all was living on this commune this whole time, and your daddy had all this money and a fully furnished house, and you just now moving up here? I was like, Alex, I'll take free rent and a free house for $100, thank you. So they move in. The kids are like weirded out because they've never been in a house before. They live in this commune. They've eaten together, grow their own food. They sleep together. You know, they are self-sufficient. So when they're looking at this house, I love how the kids get caught up. We see Johan and Santa Monica like, what is this? Over the toilet. And then Johan tells her that this transports you to another dimension. And Santa Monica was like, I ain't using that. I'm going to wear diapers. Santa Monica is my favorite. She is just like, that was me as a child, okay? Not the commune part of it, but just her sassy mouth and all of that. I was like, Santa Monica, I see you, girl. She's absolutely my favorite in the whole episode. So I love how they show how Bo is trying to keep her siblings grounded this entire episode. And then also, too, I love that it really explores, you know, not only from them being introduced to this new world, but we quickly see as the kids are introduced to the fact that they're mixed when they go to school and someone asks them, like, what are you? And so I think it's interesting how they show the kids trying to figure out, like, what is being mixed? Like, what is race? And Bo quickly talks about how they didn't see race on the commune. And, you know, some people, these are huge topics that we have right now where we talk about some people, they just don't see race. They don't look at people as black or white or, you know, Hispanic. And so I find it interesting how the parents decide to have this conversation with their children to explain, you know, their heritage, that their father is white, which is even more ironic because I think it's really great casting. I know a lot of people, side note, I know a lot of people had issues with the fact that Tika Sumpter is a dark-skinned woman, which I appreciate and I love because we don't see a lot of representations of dark women, and I just love Tika Sumpter because she's so beautiful. I was having a hard time watching because I always just want to stare at her. But yes, I love that they cast a dark-skinned woman, even though when we saw on the series of Blackish that her mom was fair-skinned, and there was a whole issue, a whole episode on colorism because of that. And so I like how they kind of switch these things up. And then Tika, who also is, you know, has, you know, a mixed child, you know, I think it's so great to have these lead actors who know firsthand what it feels like to raise children. And also too, Mark Paul Gosselaar, he's Polynesian, he's white, he has all these different races in him as well. And so I think it's so interesting that, you know, all of these characters, like, you know, these actors, they come from mixed backgrounds so they can really relate to the source material, you know, of the characters. And so I thought that was very interesting. And so I love how the parents have the conversation too. Should we have had this conversation about race, which is a huge topic that I know my friends who are like parents now, and my nieces are mixed as well. And you talk about like, do we bring up race? Like, should we raise our kids to see race, even though the world would see them for their race? And so I love that this show tackles so many issues and things that can spark so many discussions that you can have with your kids, that you can have with your relatives, or even people that you know who are mixed. And I love that they point out how back in the 80s, it wasn't the world that we live in now, where we see so many interracial couples, we see so many blended and mixed families. It's not something that you saw back in the 80s. So I love that they're taking it from that perspective. And then also too, I was like, thank you guys for educating us on all the the world-renowned, mixed celebrities. Barack Obama, he's a president. Missy Copeland, you had Colin Kaepernick. I was just like, that was so dope. And then they had to talk about DeBarge. But I was just like, girl, that's all y'all had in the 80s. I understand, boo. But I love how they educate us on the people who are, very prominent in today's society, but they also educate you about the Loving Act of 1967, where it was illegal to be in an interracial relationship, to get married, to have children. All of that was illegal at the time. And so I love how this show, it makes you laugh, but it also educates you at the same time. And it also makes you learn about a new perspective that probably people, if you aren't mixed or you don't have mixed family members, that you wouldn't think about. And so that's what I loved about Mixed-ish. I had a really great time watching this. But can we talk about the grandpa though? So Gary Cole, I love him. He's absolutely funny. And he also does like a lot of serious stuff too. I loved him on The Good Wife. But can we talk about him when he said the yacht club is for the people who came on the top of the ship? I said, Grandpa, you really said that? Then when he told his daughter-in-law, he was like, I do cocaine. I was just like, yo, now I can see why your son was trying to get away from you and go live in this commune. But I did find the grandpa to be really hilarious. But one of my favorite characters outside of Santa Monica, who loves shrimp, and I say, girl, I bought some shrimp today too. But Undidi, I love Undidi. She said, can't nothing fix anything like some new clothes, some hot combs, and some hair grease. Why does everybody remember trying to fix something with hair grease? I felt that. I bet it was some Blue Magic, or it was some of that sulfur. I used to hate when my mama used sulfur 8, but I thought she was so hilarious. When they said she had the personality of a TSA agent before they knew what that was supposed to be, I was just like, that is so spot on, and I'm so here for her. And I thought she was very raggedy for sitting up here trying to set up her sister with somebody else at her own wedding. But I love the dynamics of the entire family. I love the experiences that the kids have at school, them feeling like they have to choose a side. And I love the conversations that they had between the parents, where he was just like, I can't believe you went and got a job, because she decided that she needed to bring in income, and she decided she was going to work for her father-in-law. And when he questioned her about it, she quickly told him, like, even in this world, you are still white. Like, you still have your privilege and you can be who you want to be. But as a black woman, they see me as I'm black, like we're not in the commune anymore. And so the fact that she had to sacrifice who she was in order to make sure that she was providing for her family, but also to educate her husband that race does now matter. Like, we can't live in this make-believe world of what we want it to be, because some of us, because of the color of our skin, we don't have that luxury. And I thought it was so important to have that discussion, and even more important for the discussion when he's talking to Bo. And when Bo talks about her conflict of feeling as though she has to choose a side, she has to either choose her black side or she has to choose her white side. And then if she decides to choose one of those sides, that she's ultimately betraying one of her parents. I thought it was so interesting to bring a perspective, and I've never thought of it in that way. Even thinking that my nieces, like, maybe they have these same thoughts as well. But that's what I loved about this episode. It just covered so much that I can't wait to see how they address different topics as the season continues to go along. But I had a great time. It was funny. It gave me laughs. Santa Monica stole the entire show. She is just so amazing. She is so funny. She was like, I want to be a weirdo. I said, girl, me too. But sometimes you just can't do that. And I love, I just love the whole cast. I love the casting. I love the fact that they have Tika Sumpter, who is a dark skin actress, playing the mother, kind of the switch up that they made from how the parents are presented on Blackish. I can't wait to see like what happens with the other episodes. Y'all did that for the first episode. I had a great time. I would definitely recommend this for the entire family. Everyone can watch this. This is definitely a family show. And like, yeah, I can't wait to watch next week. So guys, let me know if you watch Mixed-ish. Let me know in the comment section below, who is your favorite character? What topics do you want to see them tackle along season 1? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? Tell me. Like, let's have a discussion about this. But those are pretty much my thoughts on Mixed-ish season 1, episode 1, the pilot episode. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.